قد من الله تبارك وتعالى عليهم بنصر وفتح، ومكن لهم بعد سنين طويلة من الجهاد والصبر ومجالدة أعداء الله، ووفقهم ومكنهم لتحقيق غايتهم، فسارعوا إلى إعلان الخلافة وتنصيب إمام.
Good evening. Today I authorized 2 operations in Iraq. Targeted airstrikes to protect our American personnel and a humanitarian effort to help save thousands of Iraqi civilians who are trapped on a mountain without food and water and facing almost certain death. Let me explain the actions we're taking and why. First, I said in June, as the terrorist group ISIL began an advance across Iraq, that the United States would be prepared to take targeted military action in Iraq if and when we determined that the situation required. In recent days, these terrorists have continued to move across Iraq and have neared the city of Erbil, where American diplomats and civilians serve at our consulate, and American military personnel advise Iraqi forces. To stop the advance on Erbil, I've directed our military to take targeted strikes against ISIL terrorist convoys should they move toward the city. We intend to stay vigilant and take action if these terrorist forces threaten our personnel or facilities anywhere in Iraq, including our consulate in Erbil and our embassy in Baghdad.
This video is sponsored by MicroProse. Boat Crew would take you to the largest front in the history of naval combat, the Second World War's Pacific Front. The game is an arcade-light simulation game with strategy aspects. You would have to manage your own crew, give them armor vests and weapons to put on. The campaign would be in the Solomon Islands as you go on base raids, port strikes, attacking and defending convoys, and hunting enemy destroyers. The game is more of a combat action game, but strategy is quite important too. You would be an underdog, as you are a lone PT boat, taking on stronger opposition, and you have to come on top through skill and tactics. Thanks to Micropros and their game, Boat Crew, for sponsoring me. The game's link will be in the description.
We will search for them everywhere, wherever they are hiding. We will find them in any spot on the planet, and we will punish them.
Has been at war with terrorists since Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 Americans on 9/11. In the process, we've hardened our defenses, from airports, financial centers, to other critical infrastructure. Intelligence and law enforcement agencies have disrupted countless plots here and overseas and worked around the clock to keep us safe. Our military and counterterrorism professionals have relentlessly pursued terrorist networks overseas, disrupting safe havens in several different countries, killing Osama bin Laden, and decimating Al-Qaeda's leadership. Over the last few years, however, the terrorist threat has evolved into a new phase. As we've become better at preventing complex, multifaceted attacks like 9/11, terrorists turn to less complicated acts of violence like the mass shootings that are all too common in our society. It is this type of attack that we saw at Fort Hood in 2009, in Chattanooga earlier this year, and now in San Bernardino. And as groups like ISIL grew stronger amidst the chaos of war in Iraq and then Syria, and as the internet erases the distance between countries, we see growing efforts by terrorists to poison the minds of people like the Boston Marathon bombers and the San Bernardino killers. For 7 years, I have confronted this evolving threat each and every morning in my intelligence briefing. And since the day I took this office, I have authorized U.S. forces to take out terrorists abroad precisely because I know how real the danger is. As Commander-in-Chief, I have no greater responsibility than the security of the American people.